3? Okay, so let me see that record you just had up there. And the other side? What is that?
It's the soundtrack. It's the theme song.
Okay, I want that. Just
that's nice of you to ask.
Come on. Sell it. I'm gonna buy it.
Is that asking or is that?
It's more of a demand.
Yeah, because it's not for my personal collection.
It's not.
It is.
Oh,
it's perfect. Well, I mean, it's a little bit.
You don't mind me asking how much it set you back?
$1.25.
You're like a quarter. I'm never selling it.
2 discs. Jeez. I mean, how many songs did Star Wars have?
All right. Well, listen. Next year, for my birthday, you're probably going to be like, "What do I get, Jason?"
No, I know.
Now you know.
I just really wish they would have. Yeah, here's all the. It's actually got the sheet even, which you probably can't even find those in most of them anymore.
I just want that because the back cover of Darth Vader's face is so cool looking. I can't even believe it.
That's facts. 1977.
Well,
Princess Leia's theme.
It's what?
There's the Princess Leia's theme, the Cantina Band, Ben's Death.
Cantina Man. I wonder, is that the song when they went to that place and all those weird dudes were playing like unusual instruments in the weird bar?
I have the 45 where it has the theme song, and on the other side it's the Cantina Band. It's like that, like really weird circus music sounding.
Morning, Glenn.
Hey, Glenn. How's it going, brother? We're just sitting here talking, not even paying attention.
What's up, Bryce?
I sent him I was testing 45s, and I sent him You Give Love a Bad Name by Bryce. Because I didn't know about Bon Jovi until I met Bryce, and then he introduced me to him. I'm like, yeah, that's not bad.
Bryce, where are you and what are you doing today? Glenn, you too. Where are you and what are you up to today?
Glenn's in New Orleans.
New Orleans.
Probably working. He works all the freaking time. He's got, he's kind of lucky. He's got garage sales year round, so he hits garage sales all year. That's another reason to live down south.
Another reason?
Yeah,
might be the only reason. Bugs, snakes, swamp, marsh.
If you're into that, if you hate those things,
I do.
I like snakes.
I like to wake up with bugs on me.
He's at work. Should have known.
Morning, Jen.
Slippery When Wet was awesome. Yeah. Hey, the guitarist Richie Sambora was a really good guitarist. Baton Rouge. Okay, my bad. Yeah, apple with peanut butter. Total Stella move. He taught me that one.
That's actually really good. In a pinch.
He showed me that one. I thought it was disgusting. I'm like, what? That's disgusting. I tried. I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, that's awesome. Perfect snack too for like, you don't want to get real full. You just want to have a quick break and keep energy up.
Morning, Jen. Whoa. Chopper's in the house.
Bryce also did milk with ice in it. I think that's an Italian thing. It's awesome because you don't realize it, because when it's in the fridge, it never gets to as cold as like water gets. And so when you put ice in milk, it actually makes it cold.
That is kind of a social thing where you're like, why don't we ever do that? You just don't put ice. It just, people don't do it, you know?
I remember when he did it, I remember like, that looks so watered down milk. And then I tried it. I'm like, okay. Because it waters it down so it's not so thick and stuff. So it was actually good. Hey, Chopper. What up, brother? Hey, Jen.
Well, if you're just joining us, we're questioning where you're at and what you're doing right now. So throw it in the chat. Chopper, you've never been here before. If you go to the chat feature in the middle, you can just hop in there and say whatever.
Where is Chopper in Kansas City still? I think he's
so.
Kansas City area. You got Hunter that lives in Ohio or something.
I think he's in Illinois. Last time I knew, I met him for lunch once, like 10 years ago, and that's
really.
That's the last time I saw him when I was working for my dad.
Yeah. Isn't he doing kind of the same thing that his dad did? Was like run factories.
Last time I talked to him, he was a plant manager for a beverage company, like one of the ones that delivers like alcohol and liquor to grocery stores, and almost like a Pepsi or Coke, but it's alcohol.
Plant manager, because his dad was kind of like that. It was like always high up.
Actually, I don't remember. Last time I talked to him, he was a sales rep for one of those companies, and I think someone told me he was in management or a plant manager. I'm not sure which exactly. Knowing Hunter, he probably could be any of those and would be
any of them, yeah,
doing just fine with it.
Hunter was one of the weirdest guys I've ever met because he was the Hunter around anybody else was a different person, but when you got him one-on-one, he was a totally different person. It was the strangest thing. Yeah. I liked both versions, but it was just weird. It was strange.
Yeah, you knew he would probably definitely turn on you, so you had to have your guard up when you were around.
Yes. You know what Lon said, right?
Yeah. You're like, why did you say that? We were just talking, you and me, and we weren't supposed to talk about that. I don't care. I didn't do it.
I didn't say it. You did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stella's right on that one. I think it was one of the first times anybody stayed all night with me in Buckland. And I wanted to show him how I could make chocolate milk. And I put like half the bottle of chocolate into his milk. We were both so sick because we ate like a bag of Doritos a piece and drank really bad chocolate milk on it.
It's so funny to think you could eat like that back then. And now if you ate like that, you'd be like, I may be dying, but I'm definitely going to need a nap. And you just like wake up 4 hours later, feel terrible.
Or you take 2 drinks and you go, I'm not going to do that. But when you're a kid, you're like, yeah, we'll see what happens.
You're like, dude, this tastes really good. It's really
so rich. Yeah. Why don't you throw some butter in there too? It's like my nephew. He would always do like, he'd mix desserts together just to do it. He's like, no, it's really good. I'm like, it's not. Don't.
Who would do that?
My nephew.
I thought you said your brother. I was like, what?
He basically is. Somewhat.
Yeah. I think you did say brother.
I may have.
Yeah. Get it together. Drink some more coffee. Who's LAG? Is that someone new or?
No, he's in a lot of the chats. He's in a lot of the football chats. And so thanks for swinging by. I appreciate it.
What's his first name?
I forget his first name. What's your first name?
Hey, what's the one that's Key Lime Kisses? What's her first name?
Gina.
I
hope I'm right.
I think you're right.
I'm not very good with names. I'm not like
I'm trying to write down the ones that join us every week so I can remember the first names because I know if I write it down, I'll remember it. But I'm trying to remember it, and then it's like different people every week show up. So
I would say that is one of that I think that's the thing that Tommy Bernard does the best of anybody in any of the in our genre is he remembers people's first names.
Yeah, he does.
He hears it once and he remembers your first name forever. And people really appreciate when you remember their first names.
Yeah. He says it's lag.
Okay.
That's what you are then. I'm writing it down. Jen's Multiverse. Your first name's Multiverse, right?
It's David. I sold 3 postcards this morning. Pretty excited about it because they're all like stuff that you like.
Yeah.
Okay. I did that wrong. Old airplanes. Thoughts are pretty cool.
Those look. Didn't recognize any of those.
Yeah, they're right after World War II. That one is World War II. There was another one I didn't have time to find it before we started the live. But I mean, they're only like $5 a piece, but I'm paying 50 cents for them.
Mm-hmm.
And they bought 3 altogether, so it makes it really easy. So it's not bad. I mean, it's not a bunch of money, but it's so easy to list. I can throw 20 postcards up in half an hour.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna start getting some more postcards just to have them on standby, so I can throw up some drafts and have some activity going at all times. You know what I mean?
Right. Keep it rolling.
Yep. It's a machine. It wants you to feed it. It won't even give you sales until you put some listings up. Like, no, I'm not going to give you any sales. Put some listings up, right? Like instant you put one up. All right, there's another sale. I think it's weird how like eBay looks like it shuts off sometimes, and then all of a sudden you get like 8-10 sales in a matter of 2 hours, and then you don't get anything for 12. It's strange.
So I have a few things saved here I want to read to you. Are you ready?
Yes.
Calling this Thoughts from Reddit. It's not reselling stuff, but I thought this would be interesting. I wanted to read this to you before we got too much reselling talk going.
No one wants reselling chat anymore.
You don't actually know when you were born. You just believe everyone.
True.
Isn't that what you think about? Somebody's mad that you took their username.
Yeah.
Old people dress the way they did in their youth, so in 50 years, old people will be wearing hoodies and pajamas.
It's true.
If the world was flat, the edge would probably be a tourist attraction.
Yeah, I'm sure it would be. Close to death.
The only reason why we are still breathing for free is that no one figured out how to take all the oxygen from us and sell it back to us.
Yes, that's a fact.
Your pet thinks the DoorDash guy is your owner.
Yes, yeah, that's a good idea.
This one ain't funny, but it's kind of good. Being a kid is thinking you are always right. Maturing is realizing your parents were actually right. Wisdom is realizing that you were both partially wrong.
Facts.
Water definitely has taste. That's how we know it's water. This is one of my favorites. Sorry if this is boring you. I just thought these were funny. Picking your nose is one of the least socially acceptable yet most effective way of solving a problem.
Interesting.
Think about that. You're picking your nose in public. Everybody's like, "What the hell?" You know.
I'm thinking. I have a bad problem.
Every other option for not picking your nose takes like 4 times as long. Same. Your birthday was more memorable to your mom than to you.
Yeah, I've said that for years. Our birthday should be for our moms. Has nothing to do with us. All we did was take a breath.
Yeah. Yeah. Wrestling is the only career where you can strangle your coworkers.
That's a good job placement there. Yeah.
They couldn't directly take a picture of the first camera ever until the second camera was produced.
Right. Common sense.
Santa probably eats all the reindeer that can't fly.
By his belly, yeah, it's probably true.
Heated toilet seats are great, but not when it's warmed by someone else.
Unless you're kinky and like it.
Yeah. Ooh, that's warm. Isn't that gross? You go in there and you're like, if you have, I don't ever do it unless I have to, but like you sit down and if it's got a warmer, you're like, ooh, that feels good. But if it's already super warm, you're like, this almost feels.
Yeah, that's nasty.
This doesn't feel right. Roses are red and violets are violet.
Yeah.
Saying something is downhill from here is seen something negative, but saying something is uphill from here also seems negative. I'm almost done. You know your parents your entire lives, but they only know you a part of theirs. Country music equals cowboy cosplay convention. Okay. This is the one I meant to start on because this one blew my mind, and this is the last one. But I meant to start with this one. Or maybe I should have ended with it. Okay, this is going to blow your mind because millions of babies are born every year, but you rarely ever see a pregnant lady. Like, think how many babies are born, but think how many pregnant people you see.
It's because they're inside.
So where are all the babies coming from is what I want to know.
It's because they're
Matrix?
inside because they can't walk around because they're freaking pregnant. Here's what
Maybe some of them are probably really in shape and they should be out there doing life, not sitting on the couch.
Yeah,
Man.
that'll teach them. My dog actually thinks that my bank is his personal Chick-fil-A because he gets a treat every time. He doesn't know what the hell I'm doing.
Paper.
He's like, yes, finally at McDonald's again.
At
Love this
lunchtime,
place.
I'm starving. This guy's trying to kill me.
I think, isn't it us and bees are the only ones that can see purple? You know, and I was looking up one time our human vision because our vision isn't as good as a lot of animals that can see a long way. But when I started looking it up, our vision's like awesome because of like.
But yours isn't.
No, how technical it is close compared to other animals. So actually, our vision is really good even compared to other animals. But we can't see super far distances because we don't need to.
I think a turkey has incredible vision. It's like 10 times what ours is.
Yep.
So it's so hard to hunt. It can see you coming way far.
Yeah.
I wonder what that actually means. You say a turkey has 10 times our vision, like they can see 10 times as far, or like it's an expanded, like they can see 10 times better. What does that even mean? What can I not see?
Well, like most animals, they see the lines and they're looking for the lines to move. They don't really actually see them. It's just the movement that they're looking for.
You ever think it's for them? It's like Predator. They just see in red and they hear that weird sound that Predator hears, and we're just walking through the woods like a dummy, and it's like, and they're like watching us the whole time, and we're just wandering.
Yeah,
we're just wandering through their nests like dummies. Where's the birds at? I'm hungry.
Well, it's like I was telling you the new. I'm super excited because I'm a science geek at heart, and one of my first loves was space and astronomy, and they put out a new telescope that's just out of the atmosphere, but it's not in space, just like the Hubble, and it's. I don't remember how much bigger, but it's a lot bigger than Hubble. And so it's going to be able to see things that Hubble never saw. And we were still getting new things that Hubble was picking up. That's how good Hubble was, even at the end. But the new one, it's got infrared. It's like we're going to find out things in the next 5 years that are just going to blow our minds because we just didn't know. And there was one thing I was looking up. Far out of the galaxy, there's places where there's galaxies lined up in clusters.
Is that boss level one that I sent you? That's the one Matt sent me. I want to say morning, Kyle, Tracy, Gina. Don't forget to move through the chat there.
I did. But yeah, I'm just excited to find out. Who knows what we're going to find out,
That's interesting. What was up with that boss level, the galaxy thing? I started to read it, but I didn't finish it.
They were just showing that there's places where galaxies are like lined up in like formations, like kind of like geometric. What do you call them? Anyway,
formations.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, and
I think space is one thing I can't really wrap my mind around that well. Like I don't understand the layers of which one thing is which, or like what.
Well, the whole physics of it is insane. Still, I mean, the people that know the most are still trying to figure it out. I mean, it's like I was telling you, it's like space is a vacuum. It's kind of like a Star Wars. Whenever the Death Star blows up, that can't happen.
Yeah.
Well, there's no oxygen in space to burn to make that fire. There's no oxygen out there. So it wouldn't blow up like that. It's kind of like sound. There's no sound in space.
So you're saying Armageddon isn't real, the movie?
Yeah.
That didn't happen.
Right, bub.
I don't know.
Die Hard, he's a liar. He Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis
Absolute
can drill a
liar.
hole in an asteroid. I don't know.
I don't know. He's pretty tough. You see Die Hard, right?
He's pretty tough. He walked on glass, Bob.
Yeah. He didn't care.
He's Harry Stamper, okay? And he gets shit done. Oh, that's so funny. Made my eye water. I laugh so hard.
I can't even. I can't keep up here. Candy is sweet, and so is me.
It is weird to think like. It is weird to think like people have so much opinion about what's going on here and their beliefs on Earth. And I'm not trying to get all religious, but to just think how big the universe is and what could be out there. And like, we don't even have really the technology to know what's out there. Just so to sit and say what you think is like, you don't even know.
Yeah, I'm going to cancel you because I don't think you know enough.
I don't.
Fake astronomy, fake science.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just saying people are so opinionated. And I'm like, you don't know, and you probably haven't even read enough to even have an educated opinion on the topic. And I don't either. So I'm not saying I do. I'm just saying people
Well, it's
are
like I was
dumb.
telling you, I had that crazy, weird theory. Like they started figuring out that every galaxy is going faster and faster, and they're all going out. The universe is expanding. And if you go farther out, the galaxies that are farthest out are actually going faster than the inside ones. So they explained it like raisin bread. Whenever it's baking
Gingerbread?
and it's growing, the raisins don't move as fast on the inside, but the outside moves faster. They're kind of explaining like that, and that's
I
what I
don't
was
think
like.
I like bread baking for that. Bread bakes way too slow.
Yeah,
That's not a good.
and so that started making me think that it's almost like it's getting filled in. It's a vacuum. It's like everything's flowing so fast in. It's like almost like we're on the other side of the black hole getting filled in. Yeah, that was one of the things because it makes us great hunters. Because even though our eyes are in front, we get a wide range. You don't care. Yeah, our oceans are freaking amazing.
Space cadet. I'm a space cadet.
I when I was a kid, I loved that space camp, and I loved Eric Clapton's Forever Man, and I wanted to drive a Jeep with the doors off, and
Still want to do all that.
yeah,
I feel like I was listening to something the other day, or I read something. I don't remember. Somebody was talking about how cool they thought space camp was as a kid. But then if you talk about that kind of stuff as an adult, everyone thinks you're like a space nerd, like whatever. Probably like Star Wars too.
I hope so. I don't want people to think highly of me. I want them to think I'm an idiot.
Yeah.
It always helps me out. I always like it.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm interested in interesting things versus just dumb
Sorry,
stuff.
I don't care that you care what I am.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit. I think that's one of the beauties of being a preacher's son.
Oh, here we go.
I am who I am, and I don't care. Here we go.
Never ends with this guy.
Yeah, better have some coffee ready.
Okay, you want to talk about religion? Here we go.
I didn't talk about.
We live in the universe. Okay, what's the word universe mean? Une mean single, verse meaning spoken sentence. God said, "Let there be." Mind blown.
No, my mind's not blown.
No.
No.
I did always like that though. That word means that. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah. I guess.
If you're, well, it definitely does suck.
It's sucking my will to live.
Sucking and it's cutting. Well, it definitely does suck.
I don't think I'll ever get sick of that movie.
I literally just showed Hayden and her friend the scene last night about the guy with the white eye.
Yes.
I'm a partial ocular albino. There's nothing wrong with my eye. No,
Oh,
like
cross my T's and dot my
lowercase.
lowercase J's.
What's up, Harry?
Harry, the only guy on YouTube that can still find gold even in winter. Yard sale gold.
Panning for gold.
It is. Yeah.
You sit some pay dirt.
Did you see the Coleman lanterns he got?
No.
Yeah.
Tell me.
They're just badass. I've never seen anything like them. They're like silver bottoms, and I'd never seen them. He got them for like $20 too. He could flip them for 300 tomorrow.
Oh wow! Did he get him at a yard sale or?
I think it was a Facebook Marketplace pickup, which he gets a lot of them. I stopped looking. It's just, there's so much crap, and then every time you ask him, like, "Oh no, it's gone. It's been gone for like a year." I'm like, right? I'm stupid, but it's still there.
All right, so Jen wants to talk about news, politics, religion, and the Kardashians. Got it. I'm writing that down.
You want to take Kardashians? I'll take religion.
Well, I'm gonna need to do some research. I don't off the top of my head.
We'll bring it back next episode.
Really, all I know what to talk about is like Nickelback, Star Wars, Reddit,
Creed.
reselling. But I can look all that stuff up, and we can definitely chew the cud on that.
Yeah.
It is funny. I feel like, speaking of religion, when we talk about religion, we don't really push an idea. It's just funny to talk about what people's ideas of all of that stuff are. And I know we started talking about it one day, and somebody was like, "Don't talk about religion. Don't talk about politics." But it is funny just to talk about different people's beliefs. But definitely never would push anything when I do bring it up.
Yeah, and it's funny because like when people make fun of Scientologists because they have some pretty weird, like you have your own planet somewhere. It's all strange, but most religions are pretty strange if you don't believe them already. From the outside in, everybody's like, "What?" Unless you've been indoctrinated into it, it's all going to sound pretty strange.
Jen, I just wrote down Kardashians on my notes here. We'll hit that next week. Boy,
you need to just watch some episodes and find out what. I forget she has a business, so you might want to check out how her business is going.
Where did Dad go? Didn't he just disappear?
I think so. He was like a Olympic guy. I think he hangs out with Ozzy Osbourne. All those reality guys do.
I was just being a smart aleck. Keep transition.
I was too.
That would be fun to talk about.
Ozzy Osbourne? Okay. Yeah. I've never watched one episode. I've never watched. I don't even.
You don't have daughters. I have. It's rough.
I'm sure. I've seen clips because it's on the news for some reason. Like it's newsworthy somehow.
It is funny to watch those because my daughters used to, or who used to watch it? I feel like I watched it with back in the day, like when it first came out, and it's but people that just watch it forever, like almost just watching a car wreck as it came out, like, what is this? Back when reality shows were first becoming popular, but they just watch those over and over. They're so scripted and just terrible. People are just terrible.
I always make fun of the reality shows. I remember one day I was bitching about them. It was being all high and mighty that I don't watch any of them when I was bartending. And then I started talking about right after I got done whining about it and talking about how stupid everybody was for watching them. I started talking to my other buddy he was a baseball pitcher. So we were just talking baseball. We were talking about baseball for like 30 minutes. And I had that realization. I'm like, oh, I've been doing reality TV for 20 years. Mine just happens to be baseball.
Mm-hmm.
Something that no one else cares about that has its own little family inside of it. It's like, we're all so stupid. We all have our own little different things, you
I
know.
feel like you could say that, but I also think like sports stuff is, I mean, it's just your thing. Reality TV is so different though. It's scripted and just,
A lot of people think that all the sports are scripted too.
well, after that last Chiefs game I watched, I could probably agree with you.
So, we're just skipping over that one.
Don't say that to me. Don't say that.
That can't. Have you watched?
Last Boy Scout? Yeah.
Yes,
With Mahomes in it? Yeah. It was the last Chiefs game.
his last Chiefs game. Did someone come into the room and tell him that they're going to kill his entire family if they didn't lose the game? I think so. So,
Okay, be careful what you say now because this just became viral. So whatever you say will be held against you and will probably end up in jail. So
probably.
let's clean it up.
I don't have any money, so they can sue me for bed sheets and
She's
records.
got some pretty good memorabilia back there. Let's see, what do we want?
Do you notice that's your dad's? Got from
Oh yeah.
I was gonna put it in my booth, but man, it's just so cool. I just something about it.
I remember when he got that in his journey deep into the Congo. Barely made it out of there alive with that.
Good thing he had the Bowie knife and the crossbow.
He had a bullwhip.
Isn't it weird that the noise from the whip is just because it's actually breaking the sound barrier?
Yeah.
It's so weird.
I really wonder why they went with the bullwhip and why we accepted it so widely. I mean, who does that? Oh, well, let me grab my bullwhip. I'm going on a trip. I'm going to Wichita. I better grab this bullwhip.
If you didn't have a gun, it's probably next best thing, I
He
guess.
had a gun too, though, but it was always out of bullets, and he had to fight. Don't get
hard
me wrong. I love Indiana Jones. I love it. Anytime it's on, I'm watching it. If it's on, even if I walk into some person's house to like drop something off and I notice they're watching Indiana Jones, I'd probably sit down with them, even if I barely knew them, and finish the movie with them.
Well,
But
you should thank Burt Reynolds.
yeah, he would have been the.
He may have been Indiana Jones if
Hey,
he
I
would have.
thought that was Star Wars. He tried out for that too. Yeah,
But if he would have got Star Wars, would we have ever heard of Harrison Ford? And would he have been Indiana Jones?
good point.
So thank you, Burt Reynolds.
I feel like Han Solo is one of the coolest characters of all time,
All
but I
time.
feel like his name is just like Han. Like it's not that badass sounding. Am I wrong?
Yeah. They
Solo,
probably-
yeah, Solo. It's not a real name, but it's a good. It's a
Maybe
good.
they're trying to clean it off of Genghis Khan. Han. So
Genghis
maybe- Genghis would have been a better name.
But also in a way, so he was kind of like the coolest character ever, and his name was kind of weak, but he also was kind of a weak guy because he would always just run from everything.
Yeah, and it
Like
was all for money.
everybody, like
He had no-
everybody in the 70s, 80s movies, the heroes were always huge whiny bags.
Yeah, and he would play to whoever gave him money. He didn't really
Yeah.
care.
Like he was kind of a sleaze bag, but for some reason we love him.
Yeah.
And Luke Skywalker's the biggest baby ever. He whined all the time.
But by the end, he's a hero.
We've talked about that
Same
before. But
theme.
how funny it is that like in shows today, you've got like The Rock, who's like the ultimate badass, and like nothing stops him, and he never even like flinches at anything. But the heroes of the 80s and 90s were like, I can't do it. It's too scary. I'm not strong enough. And everybody else was constantly like, you can do it. Use the Force. I don't want to. I just want to go home. I
I
want
just
to
have
be
to
with my friends.
concentrate. Yeah, just concentrate really hard.
They were constantly like, I just want to be with my friends. Your friends think you're a big baby. Now go save the freaking universe.
Well, every Bill Murray movie, he's a bum, whiny, lazy person at the beginning, and then he becomes this charismatic. Everybody loves him, and he's the good guy by the end. You know, it's like the same storyline every time.
Think of Marty McFly, Back to the Future. Biggest whiny baby ever.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, actually, so growing up on a farm, my brother actually did have a bullwhip, and when I wanted to be Indiana Jones when I was a kid, and I used to go into the woods, I would take the bullwhip and wear it on my belt. So first learning how to use it, first few times I caught myself in the face with it, though. That's how you learn what not to do.
That's where Indiana Jones got his scar.
Mm-hmm. Only thing I didn't have was the hat and the gun, obviously.
Oh God!
Do you remember? Do you remember the spin-off TV show from Indiana Jones called Tales of the Golden Monkey?
I think, yeah, I do. Off of Temple of Doom.
Yeah. So when I was a kid, I feel like the guy's name in that was Jake, or his dog's name was Jake. I don't know. But when I was like between 3 and 5, you know, those were the shows I was watching, was Indiana Jones and that show. And I always wanted everyone to call me Jake. And my Aunt Glenda called me Jake like her entire life. Even when I was like 30, I'd walk in and she'd be like, "Hey, there's little Jakey."
That's funny.
It's like, "Why did she call you Jake?" I was like, it's a show I liked when I was like 4, and I wanted to be called Jake. I literally remember spending like a month talking about how I could change my name legally to Jake, and asking how to do it when I was 5 years old. My parents were like, just stop.
So you've always been basically
Insane.
yes.
Yeah.
I just didn't want to say it, make you feel bad.
Thinking back to some of the concepts that I thought of when I was a kid seems pretty weird now.
Yeah, that cape's not going to help you fly. That's a movie, Jason.
Yeah. I remember one time I was building a set of wings. Did I ever tell you about that in my garage? Did I ever say it on here? I was building a set of wings, and I was using like firewood, and I was stapling this material to it when I was like 4 or 5. I was in this garage. My mom came in there, and she was like, "What the hell are you doing?" "I'm building a set of wings, and I'm going to strap them to my back and jump off this barn." She was like, "This weighs like 100 pounds. How are you even going to get it up there?" "I don't know yet, but it's like I had built wings out of like 2x4s and firewood."
That's funny.
She's like, "No, take this apart immediately and put it all away." I was like, "It's going to work." She's like, "You're going to break your back." I don't think I could have actually got it up there, though. It was so heavy.
Right.
It was like 8 feet wide of boards. I think she found out because I was asking her for material to staple to the back of it to create the lift.
Yeah.
I need something to cover the holes.
I remember I did that same thing, but similar. I remember asking my parents, my mom, "Do you have any thread?" She's like, "Thread? You need thread?" I'm like, "Yeah." "What color?" I'm like, "I don't care." So she gave me like purple thread. And it was one of those days where she gives it to me and then just follows me. Like, what's he going to go do with this?
What are you doing with this?
And so I was making a bow and arrow because I had went looking for my Boy Scouts. There was a kid that his grandpa was a farmer, and every time he plowed his land, he would get new arrowheads. Well, he plowed his land, and we all went there looking for him, and I was the only one that found one. But the tip was broke off, and no one found any. So he felt bad, so he gave everybody an arrowhead. So I had a nice little arrowhead. So I needed to make an arrow and a bow. So I made a purple stringed bow and arrow. It actually shot it shot over 10 feet. I don't know how I did it that good, but I did. But of course,
I'm working on a harpoon.
And I remember shooting it, and I must have hit a rock or something in the grass,
Mm-hmm.
and it chipped the freaking arrowhead. And that's when I was like, "Oh, you can hurt the arrowhead." So that's when I stopped doing it.
My dad had all kinds of that hunting stuff. We talked about that he was a hunter last week, but he had all that stuff in the basement. I can't believe I never like chopped my arm off or something. He had but I was always playing with arrows, like so dangerous.
Yeah. I've got 3 bows in my house. Whenever the pandemic hit, I was like, "Oh, I'm kind of glad I have this crossbow right now."
Remember that time you pointed at the camera in your video?
Yeah, and my videos have never recovered.
Oh my gosh!
Like instantly, YouTube buried me.
I like to make a channel about me pointing weapons at the camera and threatening everyone in the whole world.
What's the big deal?
They win.
I still have that in case I need to use it again.
It was funny because you had like a toothpick in your mouth too, didn't you? It was actually really funny.
I'm
You
your
had your hat on.
huckleberry. Say when.
It was actually really funny. Very threatening though.
That's why I did it. But when I pointed it, I didn't have an arrow in the thing, so I thought that I guess the algorithm doesn't know if there's an arrow in it or not. I doesn't really care.
The only thing that would have made it more awesome is if you just would have held the pose for like 10 seconds and then shot an arrow into the camera and watched it just like crack.
Seriously.
That'd have been amazing.
Probably worth the money.
But you'd have to do a really long stare, at least 10 to 15 seconds.
Or if I would have had one of those little shot glasses like he had, and you go.
Yeah. It's one
of the best parts of any movie ever.
Yeah.
Oh, you know Latin. Now I really hate you.
Yeah, now we can be friends again. I watched that with my daughters, or actually Hayden, and I think watching it, I just remember the whole time thinking, isn't this amazing? All these lines and this stuff. And she was just like, yeah, it's good. But I don't know, like when we watched it, why was Tombstone so amazing? Like we just like loved it.
Well,
like I get it that it's cool and the characters are cool, but what about Tombstone is so amazing?
Well, this is something I've always thought about. Same thing with a movie, same thing with music. It's usually because whatever's going on in those genres is terrible. And they're it's like at the time, it's like, please give us something new. It's like 80s, why did the hair bands go on so well? Disco. What was better than disco? Anything. So it's not a surprise that hair bands did well, Why did alternative music do so good? Why did grunge do so good? Because who liked MC Hammer and Baby Got Back and Vanilla Ice? I mean, the genre was terrible at the time. So of course, Nirvana was better. Good Lord, 1,000 times better, So I think it's one of those things too. It's just like the movies at the time were cheesy 80s movies. And it was like a cool drama that seemed like in a storyline of something that actually happened. I don't know. Maybe just hit us right. I don't know.
So do you feel like maybe the reason Tombstone was so good was because it was the first time they took a Western and made it like truly badass?
Good point.
But then you got John Wayne, badass back in the day.
Who?
John Wayne, the Duke.
Yeah, but I think people got sick of that. The spaghetti, Clint Eastwood, the spaghetti westerns and stuff like that.
Spaghetti western.
Because they were filmed in Italy, most of them.
Okay.
It was something about the taxes and stuff. I don't know. That's what I remember.
I do feel like Tombstone was.
It's the Morning Onion, so just remember, I'm probably wrong.
This is true.
Only 5% of this actually is true. But you're bringing up something that's making me think. Almost every movie I've ever liked has awesome music.
Yeah.
Or I won't like it. Tombstone has no music, and I still loved it. So it just kind of tells you I liked the actual movie a lot because usually it has to have good music or I just won't watch it.
One thing I really appreciate about Tombstone is that in the movie, which if you know your history is true, Wyatt Earp's wife was a complete a-hole. And he was just like, yeah, I'm done with you. He dumped her, hooked up with the other chick, who some say was actually a prostitute, and finished out his life with her not being married. Mic drop. That just happened.
Well, they also said a lot of things that he was actually the bad guy and most of the cowboys were the good guys.
They also said that Doc Holliday and Wyatt's women were prostitutes. We know Big Nose Kate probably was. I can't believe the chat isn't jumping in on this Tombstone talk. Where are you guys at? We need you.
Who's they anyway? They said.
People. The internet. Magazines, the internet. I did actually watch a couple really interesting documentaries about all of that. And pirates, in case you want to know.
No. I want your coffee mug, and you can send that to me on my birthday.
I'll trade you for it for a Star Wars record. Send yours first.
Yeah.
When I get it.
I'll send it. I swear.
Yeah.
What's up, Sonny? How's it going?
Good morning.
I've almost gone through all my 45s. I list them so fast now. It's just I get them, put them up in a day or two.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna have to figure out what to list now. It's
What do you
crazy.
mean?
I've just gone through a lot of my inventory, which is weird. So I'm trying to figure out what I'm gonna start buying up now. I think I'm gonna start buying up some postcard lots just to try them because they're just easy.
Mm-hmm. Probably it's easy to ship too on those deals, right?
Yeah.
You can use the eBay standard envelope. Is that what it's called?
Yep.
What's that cost you to ship that?
53, 73, or 93 cents, depending on 1, 2, or 3 ounces. But it has to be 3 ounces or less, or under $20.
So I had a guy send me he sent me a message last night. I had one of those diamondized water bottles up, and it was listed for $14.95 for 2. And he sent me a message because I didn't have offers turned on, and he said, "Would you take 13 for this?" And I was like, I said, and I went in and turned on offers, and I said, "Sure, send me an offer." And then he sent me one for $12.99. I was like, "You trying to just get one more penny out of me, or like, what is the point? Why didn't you just said 13? Why would you change it again?"
Because everybody wants to win.
Yeah, isn't that ridiculous?
Everything in life, people want to be right.
Like you got to win twice. I'm letting you win the first time. Just pay me what you said. You got to win. You got to go even further.
Yep. I let people win all the time, and I don't have any pride in it because I always just think about what I paid for it, not what I want out of it. Because when people, I wanted 15, they gave me 12. Yeah, but you paid 50 cents for it. I mean, you're still making money. So I just let people win all the time. I don't care. I don't have any pride.
So here's the question: do I counter at 13, or do I counter at 13.01, or do I just accept it? Because I kind of want to do all three. I kind of don't care. But there's part of me that wants to just counter at 13.01.
Well, in my opinion, if just talking about it is wasted my time for 2 cents. I think that kind of shows you how much time you've already wasted thinking about it. That doesn't matter. Let them win. You'll forget about it tomorrow.
I know, but it almost just sounds fun because it's not.
Believe me, I've done it. But you might lose a sale, and for you need to make. You kind of need to get your. You need to get your, exactly your price point you need to get anyway. So you kind of just need to start selling them. But I don't know. If you don't care about the sale,
$13.99.
Yeah. I mean, you can mess with them, but you're going to lose the sale.
It's not about my pride, though. I almost just want to mess with him because I feel like he's messing with me.
Like I said, let him win. They were the kid that got bullied in school. Let them have a win. Huh?
I want to win.
People do that crap all the time. That's why a lot of times I'll know when they want to what they'll take, and so I'll just give it to them. I just don't taking my time and my mental energy anymore. That's way worse than money. So I don't know. I basically price everything up 20 to 30%, so I can always give 10% discounts.
Speaking of discounts, I want to tell a story about Chopper.
Oh no. I'm excited.
So do you remember
Chopper is Aaron McCoppin.
Yeah, Aaron McCoppin. Why do you call him Chopper? In the words of Stigler, I don't know. McCoppin, Coppin, Chopper. It just works. That's what he said. Because I asked Stigler, why do you call him Chopper when we first met? So
it sounds like it.
You're still joining us to the chat. Aaron McCoppin went to college with us, and he lived in the dorms with us and was in the same fraternity as us. So me and Anthony always had Mountain Dew in our dorm, and Chopper would always come over and drink our pop. And then he's like, I remember one day he was like, hey, man, I know I owe you some pop, so come over. Or I was over there or something. He's like, grab you a soda. And I opened it up, and he had Continental Cola. I was like, what is this? Like,
Dr. Thunder.
Like Coke. It was like, it was like, and he had Dr. Thunder too. He would always buy, I feel like he would buy Dr. Thunder or Continental Cola. which is funny because in reality, it pretty much all is like the same crap made by the same companies and doesn't matter. So, but I always thought it was funny because he always had, what's the Mountain Dew one called? Mountain Lightning or something.
Or something like that.
Yeah. Continental Cola.
Yeah, our dorm room was just like, we need to eat some pizza. Why order it? Let's go over to their room. They'll give us
that time Stigler came over and he started, there was like a room full of people and he was in the fridge like digging and he starts turning and just like throwing beers out to people. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah, he kept coming. Hey, come on in, guys. Yeah, there's some beers in the fridge. I'm like, that's our beer. It's not yours, bub.
I'm pretty sure at that time though we weren't even 21, so it wasn't like even about money. It was just like, dude, that's all I have. Don't like I need that.
And they could have been RAs and could have got us in trouble. You just invite people in. Come on in, beers.
Yeah. I need at least like 15 of those, half for tonight and half for tomorrow. No more.
When it comes to Chopper, the thing I always think about first is
he fell down the stairs with the 12-pack on his head.
No, but that sounds like a good story.
Oh wait, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say the time we had to do the treasure hunt. Remember during Hell Week, we got that day off, but we had to do the treasure hunt, even though we got the day off. And one of his things was he was supposed to surf
the Ocean Spray.
In the Ocean Spray.
I still have the pictures.
Yeah.
I have the picture of you in the
he's drinking like is he drinking like a icy Ocean Spray and
he had to go surfing or something and he was standing on a railing with his shirt off wearing like jorts drinking an Ocean Spray cranberry juice. I don't remember what the thing was.
Yeah.
It was it wasn't a treasure hunt. It was what do you call those?
Scavenger
hunt. Yeah.
I think
there's a picture of me getting arrested because we got the cop at the airport to put me in handcuffs, and I had the fraternity shirt on with my handcuffs behind my back.
And we got like act all mad. He acts all mad when he's putting them on.
I need to see if I can find those pictures and we can show them.
I got them somewhere.
I do too. We may actually have the fraternity police show up. We're talking about privilege information. Yeah. Chopper says, "Do you remember the first night in the dorms?" I feel like that was one of the nights that Chopper was handing out our beers. We were like, "What are you doing?
Who are you anyway?"
I feel like there was another guy with them that like got into a fight with somebody or something. Like he was all sweaty and drunk and like freaking out. There's always that guy, right? You're in a group and there's one guy who's like, you're like, "What are you doing? Like, these people are like giving us beer and being nice, and you're trying to fight someone. Just sit down and like drink a beer. Like, what is wrong? Like, don't." Like, this guy's making me mad. I don't like his political views. Who cares? And get out of here. Like, what is the issue?
Anytime remember when we visit any Phi Sig, anywhere else, any other college, Graves are getting a fight with someone.
Yeah. I gotta be ready to hold somebody back.
You just knew. You're just like watching Graves all night, waiting for him to do something. What's your story of the first night in the dorms there?
What do you got, Chopper?
I just remember the time where someone put the spray in the ventilation system, pepper spray, and had to evacuate the freaking dorms at like 2 a.m.
Yeah, there's
I woke up to Graves jumping up and down on my bed, and I'm going like this, and I wake up and he's like, "Get out!" And he ran out. There's no one in the dorm at this point. I look in the hallway. There's guys with gas masks on walking around. I'm like, what the fuck?
I remember that. They had on the yellow suits like from Back to the Future, the hazmat suits.
Yeah. And everybody's gone. And all I know is I just got woken up at 2:30 in the morning and Graves yelling, "Get out." I'm like, naked. That was a crazy night.
I feel like we're pretty far into the thing here. So I want to tell this story because I feel like it'll remain hidden and no one would ever see it. But it's kind of so I remember one night we're in the dorms and Stigler walks in and he throws me this thing and I catch it and it was like a plastic thing and I was like, "What is this?" And he's like, "Oh, it's a cock ring. I just got done using it." And I was like, "Yeah."
Oh, in a fraternity?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Really good. You should try it. I'm like, what is wrong with you?
Sounds like Stigler.
Yeah.
He's now a lawyer in LA, so that sounds about
Maybe you
right.
should give out his address and phone number while you're at it.
Right. If you have it, go ahead and throw
Middle
it in the chat.
name, Derek.
Maiden name.
First
Oh,
night in the
shit.
dorms. I remember the first week, and I do remember a lot of time. Everybody
I
was
don't
just
remember.
sitting in the hallways, and I remember Johnny Jefferson being there and the whole crew.
Johnny J.
Johnny J.
Yeah, I love Johnny. I can't believe he didn't hate us for all the music that blew up right next to his head. MTV Party to Go.
That's funny. He just put it up. See it? And I said that, and he said, "Oh, Sticker was to fight maybe Matt or Jeff." Some disagreement. Crazy though.
Yeah,
I do remember. I do remember people being like mad and wanting to fight. It was probably knowing Jeff and
He
Sticker
was over there like acting like it was his apartment. Like, yeah, guys, go ahead and grab whatever you want in the fridge. It was like, dude, this isn't even your house.
You guys want some pizza, pepperoni, or sausage? Which one do you want? What's your flavor?
He's a perfect lawyer, you know.
Yeah.
He was like Mr. Lawyer from the beginning. He looked like Pirates of the Caribbean. What's his name?
Johnny Depp.
Yeah, he looked like Johnny Depp, kind of. And he acted like such a, yeah.
It is funny because those guys would always fight about like sports stuff. Like if you didn't like their team or made fun of their team, they'd freak out.
Remember Remember when I did the Jeff's Giants jersey that one time?
Yeah.
It was a Lawrence Taylor jersey too. He was so mad at me.
I know.
I would have been too.
Yeah, I feel like there was another guy there too that lived
with another friend.
Them that quit or that left really quick. I feel like he was one of the ones that was mad. I don't know.
He was the instigator more of anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's funny. I moved to St. Joe thinking that I was going to be the only one. And then like everybody came up there and I was like, thank God everybody came up there afterwards, you know?
Yeah.
Funny. Who would have thought? I never would have thought I would have been in a fraternity. It was just because all my buddies were doing it. And then after I joined, I was like, that was stupid. F that. I quit.
Who would have thought I'd still be the like one of the ones left here? I can't wait to get out of here.
Yeah, good point. It's the same way with me. I moved to Springfield because all my buddies were down here too. And then I stay here. All my buddies left. So I'm the only one that stayed. And I'm the last one that came.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Grass is growing here, by the way.
You have to start doing some work, huh?
Yeah, finally have to work again. Sucks. I was just starting to get used to sleeping till noon.
You don't sleep till noon.
Yeah. Well, after I got the shot, I sleep longer than I used to.
Yeah.
Really effing.
You don't know science, Anthony. I know how I feel.
Yeah, your feelings aren't the truth, Jason Gardner. Your feelings aren't facts. So was it Ben Shapiro says that feelings aren't facts?
Yeah.
Which is a good point. I actually believe.
Isn't it funny when you hear people talking about they're like telling you something like publicly, the government or society, but you're like, this actually happened to me and I know it's true.
No, that's not. Yeah, I know. I've told people that too, and they're like, I'm like, I've gotten up at 5:30 like my entire life, and now I can't get up. Believe me, I know it happened right after I got the effing shot. I know, you know.
I know. Everyone's still asking me, "Did you get the vaccine?" Yeah. I feel terrible now all the time.
Yeah.
And I've had COVID, so I know.
I honestly too, though, I think it's running through me because I'm starting to do better. I'm starting to like be able to get up earlier and stuff. It's all my life I've been the same. And then anyway, I shouldn't talk about this crap, but man, it pisses me off.
At some point, like my body clears it though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I've actually looked into it, and some of the doctors, who knows if it's true, said about 15 months to get most of that stuff out of you.
Yeah. Cool. So just about another year, it'll be good to go.
And like, I haven't had acne in like 25 years. I instantly got acne in the same places I've had it for like 8 months. Ever since
Mhm.
I got the effing shot.
Hmm.
And it's not like it's acne. It's just like it doesn't I don't know, doesn't act the same, but it's in the same places. It doesn't move. It never heals. It's been
Hmm.
like 10 months actually. So good times.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, and the funny thing is I still got COVID and I can't smell or taste anything. So that's what makes me even more mad. Because
Maybe you need another shot.
if I would have had more
Booster.
shots, I wouldn't have ever lost my sense of smell.
Are you taking ivermectin?
Yeah. I take it as a suppository. I'm not stupid. I probably shouldn't have had sex with the prostitutes. Maybe that is it. I guess
I
Amsterdam.
just didn't want her to stay the next day, so that's the route I went.
Amsterdam's fun. I don't know what to tell you.
I don't want to be in a relationship.
I don't want to be married.
Oh,
when I was in Amsterdam, one of the funniest stories was what's funny is you didn't see any trash anywhere. Like this huge city, everybody's super nice.
mm-hmm.
I saw one guy that looked like a bum out of like this huge city, and we were all walking in the group and no one was paying attention, but I was just kind of watching him. And he went into one of the brothels and he opened the door, went in, and they pushed him out about as fast as he went in. And they pushed him down the stairs because he didn't have any money. And he was smiling so big because, he got an eyeful of whatever he wanted to see. He just went in there just to get an eyeful. They kicked him out.
Of what though? They're not all probably sitting around naked in there, are they? I mean, they're in like an area where
they're naked they're literally they have big glass. All that's there is this big glass windows, and they're just standing in the window.
There's not like a check-in area, like a foyer where you go in and tell them what you want.
I didn't go in, but
just tell us what you did. Who was she?
But I just thought it was funny because this guy, you could tell. I mean, he had like the biggest grin, like a little kid does. He's like, I got for free.
They're standing in the window naked
with pasties on.
Talk about window shopping.
And they weren't really that attractive, honestly. I mean, they kind of were, their bodies or whatever, but they're like, I had so much makeup on and stuff. I was like,
I don't feel like prostitutes are that attractive because someone that's super attractive probably going to grab a husband.
That's a fact.
And he's really going to pay.
I had a manager ask me if I partaked when I was there. I was like, well, in the coffee shops? He's like, no. And with the girls, I'm like, no. I'm like, I can get other girls. I don't need, no, thank you. Like he thought I was weird that I didn't. I'm like, yeah, I'm weird, crazy.
I brought back a mail order bride and I did all of it.
Well,
in Amsterdam.
Knocked up another girl in Amsterdam. Oops. It's coming home.
Get rid of this virus. It's funny because when we get to the end of the show and we're just rambling about dumb crap and we think the chat's dead, and then you say something and Harry's like, could be herpes. He's like, probably is, Harry. So
it's exactly what I was thinking.
We always get to this end part where we're just rambling and you feel like everyone's gone, but there's still a few stragglers in the chat that are listening.
Well, I think it's great because like Harry doesn't say some of these things on his channel, but when he's in our chat, this is when he throws up some of these things.
This is where a little bit more sketchy stuff happens Saturday evenings.
I'm glad he has a platform that he can really unload on.
Yeah. It's good to let people talk.
Well, thanks everybody for swinging by today. I appreciate Chopper for coming in and so we could laugh about our some crazy stories. I don't think Tommy and Trace are going live tonight. I'm not sure. They've been taking a break.
Why?
Let us know. I'm not exactly sure. I would say why, but it's probably wrong. So you might as well not say it, right?
Make something up. Tommy's been working nights, so
Yeah.
got a job at FedEx. So.
Tommy actually works for Harry Tornado. He does his shipping for him, and takes video for him and edits them. I want your version of why. He's actually best friends with Harry Tornado. You just didn't know it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, seriously. I totally.
They're not doing lives right now because Tracy started a new business. It's a network marketing business where she's selling candles and Tupperware, and that's the only time she can have parties, Saturday nights.
I heard she was going to copy Lindy Glenn's and start a box store, bin store.
Yeah.
That's
everything's like $10 on Saturday and goes down from there. Let us know how it works out, Tracy. Shoes.
Oh yeah, okay. She just hasn't set her office up yet. I knew that would be the boring answer.
Yeah, that's lame.
Stupid.
It's in McPherson, right?
Box steward. Give her address. McPherson, right? 65807. I think it. I couldn't imagine running a box store. You know, I actually always kind of wanted to do that. Start a baseball store. I really wanted to. I mean, that's kind of actually. I almost did that before I started doing eBay. Thank God I didn't do that. Especially after the pandemic, I would have been so screwed. Who's coming in? You know, it wouldn't have been essential. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't you guys use old phone cases and old printer cartridges?
I just can't imagine like trying to run a box store and paying all that rent and all that stuff. I mean, it'd be hard not to think about the numbers like, well, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday is just to pay for rent, you know, and then hopefully we can make money on the weekend to make some money.
Just to clarify, it's a bin store, not a box store. You're not selling boxes.
I said a box store, then I said bin store. Thanks for listening to me all the way through.
You never listen.
All right, I need to start my day.
Sell boxes.
I can't just talk on YouTube all day. You know, I got responsibility.
I'm just going to leave this open. I'm going to start doing laundry in case anybody wants to watch.
Hey, I think there's a lot of girls that just clean. So why don't you try on bikinis while you're doing it?
Yes. I'll try on my boxers as I'm folding them.
Bikini haul. I mean, honestly, if you're a good-looking girl now, it's so easy to make money. Like all you have to do is literally go on YouTube and try on bikinis. You're gonna get 1 million views.
Yeah.
Oh, something I was thinking about. YouTube that popped up today. It was Tim Ferriss.
Yeah.
I remember when I first started listening to podcasts, I would listen to Tim Ferriss because he was kind of the guy everybody listened to.
Mm-hmm.
His thumbnail on his YouTube channel, it was terrible. Mine was sadly better, and that's not good.
What was his thumbnail?
It was just like yellow letters beside and below both pictures of the person he was interviewing, and he's wearing like a hoodie or a stocking cap with like a little ball on top. It looks terrible. Anyway, it had like 12,000 views. So I went in and looked up his channel to see the views he's been getting. He gets like 5,000 to 15,000 views per episode now.
Mm-hmm.
He was like the guy everybody watched back in the day. And now
You're saying that's not enough?
No, I just think it's funny that what me and you thought, how we thought about Tim Ferriss, I think everybody's kind of caught on to. He's not very good. He just happened to be the first one in there doing it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Morning, Jim.
I mean, it's just kind of crazy to think that like Troy, Mountain Man Treasure gets almost as many views as Tim Ferriss. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah. I don't like listening to those guys that when they interview somebody, they just constantly reiterate what they know. It's like the same guy. I can't think of his name. It's the guy that's in the Bigger Pockets podcast. His last name is Green. I can't think of his name right now, but he just talks way too much. I'm like, dude, just shut up and let your host talk. That's what we're here for.
Yeah. Everything goes back to them.
Yeah.
Like, Tim Ferriss was so bad about that.
It's like an interview show and the interviewer just talks constantly. It's like
he interrupts and goes, that reminds me of how I put that in my book.
Yeah. That reminds me of what I always say.
My
we know
last
what you
book.
say. You say it all
Right.
the time.
Mhm. Have you read my last book? Can I finish my story?
CubanFun.com.
I don't like Tim Ferriss at all.
No.
Oh shoot! Yeah, that is the one guy that goes live when we're live is Jack Ass Matt. Harry, I thought this would be funny. Didn't you think it was funny how last night at Harry's live, it was getting political, and I thought it was funny because Matt didn't get political. It's the first time I think I've seen Matt not get political whenever I know he wanted to. I know he was mad.
Part-time picker? Matt?
No, Jackass Retro.
Oh.
I like Matt, but he's like super left. And so
So you love Trump?
Yes.
Have you heard of COVID?
MAGA.
Makes
I thought it was funny that someone said that the other day that the liberals MAGA hats are face masks.
What? What do you mean?
That the MAGA hats that the Trump people wore, the liberals, it's a face mask. It's the same thing. Is their declaration of like how they they stand by.
I got you.
It's pretty true.
Oh, well, we're just gonna talk to
Harry and Tracy.
There's 9 people still in the chat.
Oh, they're some lurkers.
Huh?
They're just lurkers. They like to watch.
What is that? You missed one. What was that? Shelly Tarbett.
Yeah, I put it up there. It's an awesome comment.
That's fine.
A brothel of petting puppies. Because I've said it forever. I'm like, if I won the lottery, I would have like 100 puppies. And
What if you made the brothel just be cats though, and you could incorporate pussies into the logo or the name? Because cats like to be petted just as much as dogs.
Yeah, and now looking at it, how do you brothel and puppies? You can really get in some trouble there using those words
Not
together.
call it a brothel though, but call it.
I was gonna say glory hole. Okay, let Pastor talk.
Oh, we should do something with our lives.
Yeah, last episode we were giving glowing attributes to your dad, and this one we're talking about glory holes.
Yeah. So how'd you guys get canceled? Well, we came up with an idea about how to pet cats. We call it Pussy Pettingville, and apparently the internet didn't like it.
I guess pussy hole doesn't go over well.
We're seriously talking about cats, though, you guys.
Yeah, it's literally cats.
It's like when you go back and watch Tom and Jerry or some of the old cartoons with the cats, and sometimes they would say puss or something. And you're like,
yeah,
things are legal.
You know something real quick, something I've been thinking about. You know how, Bolo Buddies has that channel, looking for bolos. After doing this for a long time, hunting down bolos is like the worst idea ever. You're gonna spend all your time looking for that one thing that you can.
You only find one-offs, you mean, and like sell it.
The reason there are bolos because you can't find them.
Mm-hmm.
So like if you're
it's super rare,
if you're just starting, and then all you're doing is looking for these bolos, that's a bad place to be, But if you're already in it and doing it, and you might happen to see it, that's good to know. But like, if you're actively searching for bolos, you're actually wasting your time and put you in a bad place, honestly. Because there's a reason why you can't find them. So why do you know what I mean?
Seriously, how do you go from cat brothels to bolos?
Because I'm the morning onion. I just want to talk about things that aren't true.
Cats are real. You're right. No, I agree with you. Yeah, kitty. Morning, Tommy.
Kitty glory hole.
Why are you late?
Oh, he was lurking all the time.
He's taking notes.
He's trying to fall asleep, but he couldn't.
Oh, right, because of a new night job. We've actually been talking about you for a while, Tommy. Glad you're here.
I forgot about that. Tracy will fill him in.
No, that'll get him to go back and watch the whole thing, and it'll be like torture for him. He'll have to hear all this false information, and we won't even be here to respond while he's watching it going, it's not true.
I hate those guys.
This is what we should do when people do show up. We're always like, oh my gosh, we were just talking about you. Like,
you'll have to go back and watch. So
yeah.
Well, we better get off here. I see the comments coming.
In my hand. And that's when we got canceled. Off the rails we go.
You can't be canceled if no one watches.
That's true. We were going to cancel you guys, but we noticed there was no one watching, so we just figured whatever.
We figured you'd die out. And you did.
We watched a few episodes and realized it was punishment enough for people for you to still be on. So,
I mean, your voice is alone. Jeez.
That's another thing I read on Reddit this morning, that the true, I can't remember how they worded it, the true, like, being comfortable with yourself is being able to hear your own voice on video and not freak out. Because you know how people are always like, oh my gosh, why do I sound like that? Like, you always sound like that. What do you mean? Because you sound different to yourself in your own head,
Because your body's vibrating, so it sounds different. Yeah. I remember Aretha Franklin lost a bunch of weight. She did a Weight Watchers thing, did a commercial for it. And she gained all that weight back. And everybody's like, oh, we thought that worked for her. She goes, well, I lost all that weight and I couldn't sing anymore. So I freaking gained all that weight back because I want to sing like I do, I'm like, it makes sense. Her bigger body gives her the voice she can hear. She likes it better, Yeah, interesting.
All right, let me get off here. I'm gonna go rub an onion all over my cat.
I need to go get a cat.
I don't have a cat. I should get one. No,
pet brothel. It's a good idea. Wonder how. Is that essential business in case it gets shut down? We'll just keep running.
Think of the weirdos that would show up. No, you're just allowed to pet the animals. What do you mean? It's a brothel.
No, it's just a play on words, man. You just get to pet them. Oh,
it's just supposed to be a funny name. What are you doing here? Why do you have weed and beer?
Why are you in a Speedo?
Hi, my name is Greg Hansen. This is Dateline NBC.
Well, it's been fun for me at least. So I gotta get off here.
Yeah. Later, man. Thanks for joining, everybody. Have a great Saturday. See you guys.
Later, y'all.